Welcome back to Alf Talks Arsenal, another day laughing at Spurs. Welcome back to Spurs-Watch. It's been an unbelievable couple of days since Atletico absolutely smashed up Spurs, and I am completely and honestly here for this Spurs timeline. It's feeding me through these dark times. There's so much rubbish going on in the world. I don't like the news. I try to avoid it as much as I can. I obviously watch football news. I'm in my little football bubble. This Spurs stuff, though, is just absolutely incredible. And it just keeps getting funnier at this point. Because now, ladies and gentlemen, my friends, Gooners, we've entered the manager carousel phase. It is officially on. There is turmoil. There is absolute nonsense happening over at Spurs. They are currently 1 point above relegation. 6 defeats in a row, and the club is now apparently exploring about 15 different managers. Like, literally, it is crazy what's happening. Names include, somehow, Ange Postecoglou again. As you can see on screen, we have some news coming in on X. This guy is exclusively revealing that Ange Postecoglou has been contacted by Tottenham Hotspur to return to Spurs. Like, it is happening. It seems to be happening. So it's something we got to keep an eye on as we go through this. Very, very funny. And I am 100% here for this whole thing. I'll be here to guide you through these incredible times. Don't you worry about that. The club is becoming a full-blown meme at this point. It was already funny enough, but it just keeps getting crazier. So let's start with where things stand. Igor Tudor is still technically in charge of Spurs. He's going to be doing the press conference tomorrow, as far as I can tell, according to reports, before the game against Liverpool on Sunday. As of tonight, he is still very much in charge. He has not been sacked. I am checking that, though. I'm constantly checking whether or not he's been sacked. I'm here to report this whole thing. I will be here to report this whole thing. But what's happening is that all the news outlets, when you Google things, when you look at things on AI scrapes, when you look at Grok, all the news, it is saying that he's hanging by a thread. So talks are happening with other managers. And I think that basically means that Spurs are going to be talking to the likes of Sean Dyche, Ange, and plenty others. So Spurs are already quietly assessing replacements. Imagine what it's like to be at Spurs right now with those players. Like, they must just be training, but also just thinking, like, when does this end? I can't imagine they're sort of invested in this whole thing. They're probably training and just thinking about the World Cup in the summer. They have to be at this point, because they're going to see all this. They're going to know that Spurs are actively looking at replacements. You know, they're running background checks at this point. They're looking at options. It's all going on. They've probably been in touch with Harry Redknapp. They've probably been in touch with Tim Sherwood. And we all know what that all means, right? Like, it means we're firing this guy soon. The writing is on the wall, the reports are all there, the media outlets are all being primed for this. Now remember, for the Tudor situation, he only arrived, I think, like 4 weeks ago. He arrived, I think, 4 weeks ago. Let's just fact check that, shall we? Igor Tudor agreed to become Spurs manager, head coach, on the 13th of February 2026. So almost exactly a month ago. So that's where we're at. He's only been here for less than a month. His job was very simple. Straightforward. Keep Spurs up, mate. Come and join the Prem. Get to know it. Learn on the job. His remit. Keep Spurs up. Very obvious, right? Instead, his start has been absolutely catastrophic. It couldn't have actually gone worse for this guy. I feel somewhat sorry for him. The first 3 league games, all defeats. He's lost every single one of them. I think in the last 4 games they've conceded 14 goals. So all defeats. Last 3 Premier League games, all defeats. And apparently the Spurs hierarchy are now alarmed. They're alarmed. That's it. That's a quote. They're alarmed. According to reports, Spurs leadership are alarmed. It's taken them this long. And listen, right, you know things are really bad when Spurs suddenly realise Tottenham are Tottenham. This is the most Spursy thing that I have ever seen happen. The last 4 weeks at Spurs has been the most Spursy thing I've ever seen. So naturally, the conversation has moved on to the next manager. That's where we're at. Those are the talking points this evening over the past 48 hours. Who's coming in next? And the favourite, ladies and gents, at this moment in time on this Thursday evening, it is still Sean Dyche. Brexit ball Sean Dyche. Eggs and bacon 442. Sean Dyche. He is returning perhaps to the Premier League at Tottenham. It is just an incredible time to be alive. Because let's just pause on that for a moment and enjoy that image. Sean Dyche. Eggs and bacon. 442. Brexit ball at Spurs in their £1 billion stadium. Beyonce FC. F1. Swifties. And they're there just playing pure Dyche-ball. This is what we needed. We need more of this, didn't we? Sean Dyche's ginger beard. Absolute terrorism football. I didn't realise this is the storyline we needed, but it is. It is, guys. This is what we need. It would be absolutely magnificent. It is the best thing that is happening in the Premier League. You thought it couldn't get crazier, but it absolutely has got the most insane. Because somehow, Big Ange, mate, he started appearing in the conversation. He's back. He's bloody back. It was done. Now he's being floated again as some sort of return option for this relegation situation. It's not concrete. Negotiations are not happening at the moment. It's just, social media. And I'll bring up this tweet again from this guy. Come on, you Spurs conf. So again, exclusively reveal that Ange Postecoglou has been contacted by Tottenham Hotspur to return to Tottenham. And that's got quite a few. What's that? It's over 6,000 likes there, as you can see. So it's not, that's just a post, and the comments are pretty, they're quite damning to this guy, because they're saying he's just making stuff up. But the fact that this is even being talked about and the rumours are happening, it's legit. They'll be talking to him, I'm sure. They would have approached Ange at some point in the last 48 hours. Imagine Spurs fans just scrolling through old managers. They're saying Harry Redknapp FC. They're saying Tim Sherwood FC. I mean, it's just like opening the fridge, isn't it? It's like opening the fridge at 2 a.m. You've woken up and you're looking for some food, and you're just hoping that some lovely food has just magically appeared in your fridge, and you're just sort of you open the door and there's there's a packet of cold hot dogs. That's sort of how I feel about it. There's nothing really in there that's suitable for a 2 a.m. snack. It's just a cold packet of hot dogs that maybe they've gone off by one day. That's the perfect way to think about Spurs right now. You've woken up 2 a.m, you're ravenous, and you're like, I need to eat something. You go into the fridge, it's just a cold packet of hot dogs that went off yesterday. That's how I equate all this. And Ange, man, he's not even the only one. There's plenty more to get stuck into. You've got your Robert De Zerbis, right? And I don't think he deserves to be going to Spurs right now. So Poch has been linked to Spurs, but we all know that he has got a World Cup coming up. He's not going to take this at all. That's not going to happen. Poch is off the table. Robbie Keane is up there as well. So Robbie Keane, it just all of this just tells you everything about the absolute state of this sorry football club. The absolute contrast of Arsenal and Spurs right now. It is so good. Like, you've got Arsenal, you know, they're organised, they're well ran, they've got a really good team on the bench, they've got a great team managing the club, their finances are in order, they've got new stadium plans, you know, it's all good. And then you got Spurs, nobody has a plan, everyone has a suggestion, everyone is miserable, no one wants to be there. They're all looking to just get away after this season's done. But let's just hold on for a second, because the funniest storyline is still Sean Dyche, right? We're going to go back to a bit of Dyche-ball. Because I like Sean Dyche, I do. I think he's a good guy. He seems like a good guy. And just by circumstances, because of the fixtures that are coming up, the next 8 days for Spurs, 9 days are absolutely massive, right? So they got Liverpool away. They got Atletico Madrid at home. I think that's a nothing game. They will probably just throw that game. But then the big one, Forest versus Spurs at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. This for me is going to be the game of the season. I'm an Arsenal fan. I love watching Arsenal to a degree. It's been a bit of a rough season, but listen, I'm taking silverware and I'm proud of what we're building at Arsenal. Absolutely. What I'm enjoying more is this narrative down below. So this game against Forest and Spurs, at home for Spurs, is huge. Probably the game of the season, in my opinion. Now imagine this for a moment. Another hypothetical, if you will. Spurs sack Tudor. Now it could happen after the Liverpool game, right? It could happen after the Atletico game, but it's more likely to happen after the Liverpool game. They appoint Sean Dyche. They get Brexit-ball in. Brexit-ball, bring him in. The very same Sean Dyche who managed Nottingham Forest not so long ago. Sacked last month. Now, this is an incredible storyline that's developing, because imagine, right, we got Sean Dyche coming in to Spurs. He's standing there on the Spurs touchline for his first Champions League game against Atletico Madrid, and they probably get absolutely smashed up. But then a couple of days later, facing Forest, facing the very club that sacked him not so long ago. That is a proper storyline within the storyline. We're incepting right now, guys. Dyche-ball, bring him in. Getting his revenge against Marinakis. You love to see it. The Greek Suge Knight. You get sacked by Marinakis. Spurs hire him. And then perhaps he gets some points against them. It would just be extremely funny, and I could probably see it happening, right? It's just almost written in the stars. Meanwhile, Spurs are still falling apart. Absolutely on their asses. Romero could be out against Liverpool because of this concussion stuff. Same with Paulinho. They are doubts for this weekend, which means they haven't got Romero or Van der Ven against Liverpool. I think this could be a bloodbath. Liverpool are going to be hungry after Galatasaray. They're going to be pissed off, and they're going to go to that game. They're going to step into their stadium and look at a sorry Spurs team and just go, we are smashing these guys up today. Because the defence, it looks like it's being held together by vibes alone at this point. Vibes FC. Danzo and what is it, Dragisin perhaps as your two CBs. So the next like 8 days is absolutely massive for Spurs. Liverpool away, Atletico Madrid at home, which I think they're just going to throw at this point. Can they just play their academy? I think that might be the case. And then Forest at home. And isn't it just beautiful that they built this stadium, this Stadium FC, they built this stadium for games like this against Atletico Madrid, and they're finding themselves having to potentially throw the game to save energy and resources. And I cannot wait for it to unfold, because if those results go badly, if Liverpool and Forest go badly, the relegation conversation stops sounding like a meme. You know, it stops sounding like a joke. It stops sounding like banter. It actually becomes extremely real for this sorry club. And I am 100% here all the way with you to report on all of this news. I'm ready to go. So for years, Spurs talked about closing the gap. That's what this was all about. Stadium FC. Let's build the stadium. Let's close the gap. Let's become Real Madrid of England, you know. Let's become this big, massive, big, ambitious club. Let's go to the next step. Come on. We got Beyonce. We got the NFL. Come on now. We can do this, Spurs. The future looks bright. And now, my friends, 6 defeats in a row. Manager hanging by a thread. And this now looks like a club that is completely lost. Floating in the ocean. Rudderless. Ship is sinking. Survival. Not silverware. If you like this video, please give it a like. Give the channel a subscribe. I have no subscribers. I'm totally cool with that. It's not about the subscribers. But if you are listening to this and you want to be my first subscriber, you would honestly make my day. Press subscribe and comment in the comments below that you're my first subscriber. And I will remember you forever. It's as simple as that. Anyway, have a good evening. Peace out. See you soon.